Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my podcast. This is episode number 3, so I hope you are enjoying them. This morning, I really wanted to talk about something that I've been loving at the moment, which has seriously changed my life because I have been going through such a mental breakdown phase at the moment, which I'm sure everyone can relate to, especially me. I don't know. I find that my mental health can sometimes be something that's really difficult, which I always want to be open about because obviously I never want to put out a message that everything's fine all the time, especially for me, someone who does tend to struggle, become super negative. Are the times that I let these little things slip, such as my morning routine or making sure I'm drinking enough water or exercising. And even though those are all really small little elements, when you stop doing those, I find that over time my mental health kind of deteriorates, and then it gets to the point where I'm in such a negative mind space that I actually can't do them anyway, and then I just get anxious about that, and it's just a whole thing. I'm sure that you probably can relate. But over the last week, I'm on my 7th morning this morning. I have been doing a new journaling and morning routine, and it has benefited me so much. I honestly feel like a completely different person. So I have made a morning routine video on my actual YouTube channel before, but I've just kind of switched it up, and I thought it would be fun to do kind of a conversation style morning routine and just things that have really, really been helping me get back on track with my mental health and just get back to feeling like myself again. So for me, the morning time, even if I am having a bit of a rough patch, the morning time is usually my most positive. So I know that some people might wake up in a bad mood, but usually my bad mood will develop during the day. So I find that if I can get and kind of kick it in the butt in the morning, that's really, really beneficial. So when I wake up, I just get out of bed. I like to make my bed and pull up all the curtains, which even is just a tiny thing. It really, really does make a difference. And then I try and meditate for 10 minutes. I don't always do this because, to be honest, sometimes I just don't want to meditate, but I find that meditation is cumulative in its benefits. So if you continue to meditate every day for a week and then a month and then a year, after that is when you're really going to see the benefits. So I try and keep it up. I actually have this app on my phone called, I think it's Productive. And what you do is you put in a few habits. So I have be active or meditate or eat healthy or drink water or anything like that. And then you can swipe across and say that you've done it that day. And it tracks how many days you've done it for. And I find that really motivating for me. So I do it for meditation. And if it's said that I've meditated for 7 days in a row, I don't want to not meditate. I want it to be 8 and then 9. You know what I mean? Those kind of things just really motivate me. So I do that and I meditate for 10 minutes, and then I get into my future self journaling, which has been so great. It's actually by this girl called the Holistic Psychologist on Instagram. I found her on Instagram. I think one of my friends tagged me in one of her posts. And then I just was looking through her stuff, and she's amazing. She's all about self-healing and just how to kind of heal your inner child and just be at one with yourself pretty much, which I know does sound really wanky, but it is really freaking good. I swear by it. And she has this future self journaling prompt. Now, what I love about this is because sometimes, especially if I've been a bit negative and I sit down to journal, I know that journaling is beneficial, but I don't know what to write and I get a bit confused, and because I have to think about it, I just don't end up doing it. But with her prompts, she gives you all these different things to write about, which is basically about changing a specific behavior, and you do the same behavior and you kind of rewrite those things for 30 days, and then after that you move on to another behavior. So you're literally just healing all these parts of yourself, and it's about rerouting your brain and the way that you think. So I'm going to leave a link to her blog post in the down bar if you want to do this in the morning. I highly recommend it. And then you can get all the proper prompts and stuff. But basically she asks you to choose one habit, like I said, to kind of work on over the next month or 30 days. And you do affirmations. You say, today I will focus on my pattern of blah, blah, blah. And then you say what you're grateful for. You say the person I am becoming will experience more. So for me, this morning I've written the person I am becoming will experience more freedom, more joy, more peace, more calmness, more compassion, and more creativity. And then you say I have the opportunity to be my future self today when I And then when I think about the person I am becoming, I feel happy, excited, proud, confident, all those kind of things. So I just love this. It is honestly such a nice morning practice. And I usually do it while I'm having my coffee and drinking some water. And it's just my favorite part of the day to seriously just completely realign. And I think that if there's one thing in your morning routine, I mean, I know a lot of people go on and on about these morning routines that have a million steps, but for me, it's just about bringing myself into alignment. So for the rest of the day, I can kind of be connected to that source energy and be getting impulses and having inspired action and just feeling super positive. So I love doing that future self journaling. And then I've also been doing a few other little extra journaling things, which I would love to share with you. So one of the ones that I did recently was I wrote down a list of all of the ideas and habits and thought patterns in my life that I feel like have led me to things that haven't been desirable or things that, I think I can work on. And then I write out daily affirmations that are like the opposite of that. So an example of that might be the belief that I must look a certain way to be worthy of love. So that's something in my head that's holding me back. So I'll write out the affirmation of saying, I am worthy of love at all times, that kind of thing. So I'll write down all the habits and beliefs that I believe are not helping me, and then I'll write down all the affirmations, and I always put them in the present, like I am. And that just is such a lovely thing to do. So I usually write out some of those I am affirmations every day as well, because all these things are just reinforcing your brain and reminding it every day of all the possibilities and, the positive things in life. Another thing that I love doing is writing out visualizations. Why did I just say that so weird? Writing visualizations. There you go. So I will write out like my dream day and my dream self, and I will make it so clear. So I'll be like, I'm living my dream life. I'm driving around in this car. This is what I get to do every day. This is how I feel about it. This is what I get to do every day. This is how I feel about it. I feel excited. I feel so happy to wake up every morning. This fulfills me so much. I'm traveling here. I look like this. You just put so much detail into this visualization, and it's so fun because you can literally be like, yep, I drive a G-Wagon, I have all these clothes, I have all these friends, like I'm so close with my friends, I have amazing relationships with my family, I'm traveling here, like literally put as much detail as you can. Once you get going, you can just like write for pages on this. And that's just about practicing the vibration of what you want, because as you're writing, you'll feel it. You can like feel the energy, and it starts to kind of get that ball rolling, which is a super positive thing to do, obviously, because you're training yourself to be in that kind of vibe of what you want. So that's been my journaling practice. I've been every day doing the future self one, and then I've been kind of give or taking the others. Like some day I'll do a visualization, some days I'll do affirmations. I've just been playing around with it and leaving some room to, do what I feel like each day. And then the other thing that has been amazing is I've actually been reading in the morning. Now, I know this is a tiny bit of a luxury because not everyone has the time to read, but I find reading in the morning is like a weird thing. I would have never thought to read in the morning. I always read at night. But even just a few pages or like 1 or 2 pages of some sort of a non-fiction book. So you could, read one on the law of attraction or about health, things like that. It kind of just gives you a little bit of knowledge in the morning, and it kind of switches on my brain and inspires me. 2 books that I have been loving at the moment is E Squared, which is all about the law of attraction, and it actually has all these experiments to do that like prove the law of attraction. So it will say to you, okay, let's prove that what you think about is drawn to you. So then she'll give you an experiment for the next 48 hours. Think about green cars, and then you see so many green cars. So it kind of just shows you how the law of attraction works. So I've been reading that in the morning and then doing that over the next 48 hours and kind of like journaling about it and thinking about it. So that is so fun. And then I've also been loving the book called Harmonic Wealth. And it's talking about the 5 pillars of health, which is financial, relational, mental, physical, and spiritual. So basically what he's talking about is you can't have heaps of financial wealth, but then no health and no relationships, and you can't have a very spiritual wealth and, no money. So it's about balancing all of those things. And this book actually has a lot of activities in it as well. One of the ones was to write down each area. So for example, financial, and write down your ideal thing. So your ideal net worth, how much money you make every year, all the toys and extra things that you want, and kind of really visualize that area of your life. And then do that for your relationships, like your dream partner, your mental, your physical, like your dream body, and your spiritual, how inspired are you, how connected are you. So that was like an activity that I actually did this morning out of that book. And it is super, super interesting. All about using the law of attraction to bring about those ideal areas into your actual life, which has been super awesome. I've also been trying to walk every day, just taking off the pressure of having to work out like crazy, because obviously I have been going through a little bit more of a harder time. So when I do feel like doing a hard workout, I do it, but just walking every day really helps, especially when I have a good playlist. Then when I'm having breakfast, I try and do nothing. Like what I used to do is literally just wake up, have a coffee, open YouTube, and just be watching YouTube or like thinking about my to-do list straight away while I was like scoffing down my breakfast. And then I just end up feeling anxious because I wake up and I'm reacting to the world. I'm seeing what everyone else is doing. I'm thinking, oh my God, that person did that. That's amazing. I'm not doing that. That freaks me out. I'm not good enough. I'm not doing enough. And then I literally just have an anxiety attack. So I've been trying to not look at my phone and not open YouTube and my emails and all those things until I've kind of had that quiet morning, which grounds me to myself, and I feel just good about life in general, and I feel hopeful. Once I've done all of that, then I had my breakfast separately, like just eating, just focusing on my food. That's something that I've been doing as well. And before I eat, I try and take a deep breath. I try and bless my food, which sounds, again, really lame. I know that this sounds all like really white girl, like pseudo, how do you say that word? Pseudo spiritual, or like fake woke. I understand that it sounds like that. But seriously, like it makes an impact in your life, like all these things. So do not judge me. But just sitting there and saying thanks for your food before you eat it, I think just really brings you into alignment, and means that whatever you eat kind of just like digests easier and you feel a lot more full and happy. So I've been doing all that stuff before I open YouTube and see what everyone else is doing. And it just impacts me less, just means that by the time that comes around, I feel just better and more balanced. And in the nighttime, so in the morning when I meditate, I literally just sit there and just count my breaths or just focus on my breathing. But in the nighttime, I love to do a guided meditation. So I'll do some sort of relaxing guided meditation with earphones, which has, nice theta waves and stuff, which helps me get into sleep. And then in the nighttime, I like to read a novel or something creative, because it kind of just like gets me, I don't know, it kind of feels like you're watching TV, but you're not, because I've been trying not to watch TV and YouTube and everything in bed, just because I feel like it gives me a much better sleep. So I like to read a book, maybe like Harry Potter or something, I don't know, something chill and fun and like a novel before bed, and then I meditate and then I go to bed. So that's a little bit of my morning routine and night routine that has been helping me so much over the past few weeks, or actually 7 days. It's only been 7 days that I've been doing it, and I've been finding such a difference. So that's another thing, like as soon as you start switching your habits up, it doesn't take long for your mindset to change. So if you're in literally the worst place and you feel horrible, just know that it actually doesn't last. Like I was literally like this time a few weeks ago feeling so shit. Like I was just at the end of my tether. And this week I've been feeling so much better. So things can really turn around so fast. It's just about doing those things that you should do, but you don't do. It's just kind of having the discipline to get that going. And once it's going, you want to keep doing more because you just feel so amazing. So that's going to be it for episode number 3. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you guys have a really, really good day. I will catch you tomorrow. Bye.